We often look up to the stars for answers, but we are suggesting you might look down for a change. We are handing you a terrestrial telescope and inviting you to go ground gazing with us. What do you see? Cropped plants, ink spots of water, open mounds of tufted earth. Dive deeper, there is a world beneath. A festival of exchange, a body that brings balance. Peatlands are rich constellations where we can discover ancient histories, cultural heritage, and essential ecosystems. Their wisdom can help us to learn more about the world we live in and how to make it a better place together. Each episode of this podcast has embraced a moment in the daily movement of the sun, rising, shining and setting, the movement of time marked by this familiar solar routine. Now we think of time itself, looping, leaping time. Time is an infinite carpet, like rolling layers of peat, unfurling while forming. What is written on the remaining roll? What action, what looping language can tempt a weaving wrist to work a fresh pattern into our curling carpet future? A word, a thought, or even a piece of presence, 1,000 or 1,000,000 pieces of presence, like a ton of feathers, where just a handful more feathers can tip the scale on a ton of hard bricks. A chorus of whispers, softly, softly, change comes. Hi and welcome to Cycles of Life, our final Bogcast episode. As Peat-Fest South-West comes to an end, we think of its lasting effects and celebrate the thriving peatland movement that it has nourished. In this episode, we will share a manifesto compiled from the wise words of the young people who attended our workshops and discuss our favourite moments from the festival.
From our connecting up over the Peat-Fest South-West, what we have found is that there is a huge desire amongst our fabulous young people to do more, to connect more, to deliver more, be part of it more.
For me, that was really key that it was regional, because it actually meant something rather than it being just like, here's a generic talk about peatland restoration across the whole of the UK or Europe. It was like, no, this is happening up the road and we can talk about places that the people we're talking to know about and can put on a map, and that was really, really key and really helpful.
The really good thing about this is it's raised the profile of peatlands in the South-West with the rest of the country. Not only is there a lot of learning that's gone on between each other, but across the UK peatland community.
From those wet and watery fens to the high moors, and from the boggy heaths to the swampy ponds, we at Art and Energy have been amazed at the variety of peat landscapes across the region. We've learnt so much from all the people we've been working with.
I feel like, as a young person myself, it feels quite nice that I see everybody's trying to make as many opportunities for us as possible and try and get as many young people together, because I feel like with my journey to nature as a whole, it's sort of been like on my own. I feel like I haven't been able to find anybody else who enjoys the same stuff, or at least likes it as much as I do, that is sort of my age. So just you guys doing all this is amazing. I'm really thankful for it.
As a member of RE-PEAT, one of the most exciting things that I've seen across Peat-Fest South-West has been young people from across the South-West region getting excited about peat, not only in their own backyard, but also then linking that up with young people connecting with peatland in other parts of the South-West.
Peat Pen Pals is a project started by RE-PEAT, where young people write to each other about their experience of their local peatland. During Peat-Fest South-West, young people wrote to each other about how it felt to get to know a peaty landscape. They shared their love, hope, concerns and dreams. their words came together to form a Peatland Manifesto, read by some of the young people at our workshops.
Here is the Peat-Fest South-West Manifesto.
We dream of Exmoor,
Dartmoor, Bodmin,
the Avalon Marshes,
and Dorset Heath.
We dream of a time when we sat around the fire with our community,
as we cut turf to keep our homes warm and share stories of the Bodmin beast. We dream of being wet and squelchy. We dream of peatland that is repaired by our hands and abundant across the south. We dream of rolling in mud and hope we don't lose a boot. We feel bogs need to be wet. Bogs are misunderstood. Wet,
squidgy,
excited,
Foggy.
the smallest puddle can be bigger than it looks.
We need. Peatlands are homes to bird and bog. Peatlands are where rivers are born. Peatlands are worth more than gold.
more than gold.
Without peatlands, we are all poorer. Exmoor, Bodmin, Dartmoor, the Avalon Marshes, Upton Heath. We went into our peatlands together and it felt amazing.
we found ourselves amongst the plants and animals that call these wet places home.
We looked at wide views through hand-lensed portals.
Saw abundant living shapes, vibrant colours.
We touched soft sphagnum, squeezed, puddle-pulled feet, bouncing. We sang, squelched, planted into deep ancient peat.
We mended, we invented and imagined.
And basically, it was fun, interesting, and at times serene.
And what we want is for you to have a go, to enjoy experiencing peatland in your own way.
Get to know the peatlands, get involved, make a difference. We have some ideas for you to try.
And recommend a pair of wellies. We hope you have a great time.
We hope you have a great time.
We hope you have a great time. Thank you. That's okay.
The best moments, those magic times, have been when something happens that wouldn't have done without mixing up the young people and local communities. The land managers, the nature conservationists, the peat experts, archaeologists, artists and creatives, all coming together. There have been new skills and imagination shared through storytelling and folk songs, writing, drawing, making, getting creative.
During Peat-Fest, we were lucky enough to meet the musician Nature Voices, who performed at the festival finale and wrote a rap for Peat-Fest South-West about the large heath butterfly that lives on peaty heaths.
Peace everybody, this is Nature Voices. I'm about to do my song Leah the Large Heath Butterfly for the Art and Energy Bogcast. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Leah. I'm small, but my presence is felt because I'm a clear sign of good peatland health. Life is a helter-skelter as the hand have been dealt. I'm a large heath butterfly, nothing like them other guys. Pupils on my wings scare the birds like some fake eyes. Bobbing and weaving when I flutter through the clutter, perch posed, wings closed to one side. I like waterlogged, bog stamped, moorland heath. I've had quite a life. You might say it was brief, but I'll go to my grave satisfied. No grief. What follows is a story with a nature motif. I was in an egg at the base of a stem, siblings on the other plants, 300 of them. My mother laid them singly again and again. It maximised our chances. She was truly a gem. I hatched a caterpillar looking out for killers on the bogs like frogs, spiders and birds. They lurk in the fog. Alert, scoping for the rodents. I'm a potent source of protein. I avoid the other insects. Check my monologue. A wasp could lay some eggs inside me. Nasty way to go. As you can already tell, I have many foes. So I bided my time. I found strength to grow into an aerial creature. It's really quite a show. I fed upon cotton grass. Underneath the stars I lay low in the day just to let the heat pass, munching with my mandibles. I'm an animal. I love a hare's tail. That's another host plant. Being camouflaged was the real key to my survival, and hiding underneath a leaf. Also a vital technique, and I escaped by the skin of my teeth so I can move on to the next stage of my life cycle as a caterpillar chilling in the chrysalis, undergoing a mysterious process called metamorphosis. 2 or 3 weeks and then I thought, this is ridiculous. Reached full form, then I was kind of sick of this. Broke free from my shell, began to harden my wings. I was drying them off and just doing my thing. They take time to expand, so I looked at the land. I thought, this is my dominion as a woman king. I'm a pollinator, a flower connector, transferring the pollen as I go. I'm a respecter of the plants, it's a beautiful dance. I take my chance with a long thin proboscis to suck up all the nectar. Met a guy the other day, he flapped his wings intensely. He seemed quite nice and I thought he was friendly, so I mated with him. His name was Henry. We attached for half an hour, then he flew away gently. A couple weeks ago I started making some babies. It's been hard work, you can't say that I'm lazy. From plant to plant, like when my own mother made me. I'm lucky that I made it this long. It's kind of crazy. I'm fortunate that I'm about to die in my sleep. I've been in love with the world. It's like a pearl, I could weep. I'm a part of the whole. And my children will keep the dance moving, the circle of life, and that's deep.
We will end the episode with a final reading of the Peatland Manifesto.
We dream of Exmoor, Dartmoor, Bodmin, the Avalon Marshes and Dorset Heaths. We dream of a time when we sat around the fire with our community, as we cut turf to keep our homes warm and share stories of the Bodmin beast. We dream of being wet and squelchy. We dream of peatland that is repaired by our hands and abundant across the south. We dream of rolling in mud and hope we don't lose a boot. We feel. Bogs need to be wet. Bogs are misunderstood. Wet, squidgy, excited, boggy. The smallest puddle can be bigger than it looks. We need. Peatlands are home to bird and bog. Peatlands are where rivers are born. Peatlands are worth more than gold. Without peatlands, we are all poorer. Exmoor, Bodmin, Dartmoor, the Avalon Marshes, Upton Heath. We went into our peatlands together and it felt amazing. We found ourselves among the plants and the animals that called these wet places home. We looked at wide views through hand-lensed portals, saw abundant living shapes, vibrant colours. We touched, soft sphagnum, squeezed, puddle-pulled feet, bouncing. We sang, squelched, planted into deep ancient peat. We mended, we invented and imagined. And basically, it was fun, interesting, and at times serene. And what we want is for you to have a go too. Enjoy experiencing peat in your own way. Get to know the peatlands. Get involved. Make a difference. We have some ideas for you to try and recommend a pair of wellies. We hope you have a great time.
We have reached the end of Cycles of Life, our final Bogcast episode. Thank you for coming ground gazing with us and discovering the wonderful world beneath. Special thanks to the young people who read the manifesto: Dexter, Iris, Erin, Zoe, Hector, Felix, Luena, Iona, Florence, Emily, Sophia and Luca. Thank you to Nature Voices for their contribution to the podcast and the festival. Big thanks to everyone who came along to the workshops and events that we hosted. We feel privileged to have been able to make this podcast with funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund. Special thanks to everyone who spoke to us and helped make this happen, to the Art and Energy Collective and RE-PEAT, to all the other wonderful organisations involved, including South-West Peatland Partnership, Dorset Peatland Partnership, the Avalon Marshes Partnership, the National Trust, RSPB, Wildlife Trusts, Dartmoor and Exmoor National Parks, Planet Purbeck, Cornwall National Landscape Team, and thank you to Otis Jordan for the beautiful music you heard, and of course to you for listening.